Welcome to the Side Out Society podcast, your go-to place for the culture, stories, and community surrounding women's volleyball. I'm one of your hosts, Tiff Oshinsky.
And I'm Lindsay Harwood, your other host.
Lindsay, before we get into this episode, we're going to just do a little quick housekeeping note for the people who have been listening to us, because it's been a year, which is absolutely insane that we've been doing this for a year, since right before college season started last year. So for those of you guys who have been with us from the beginning, who have found us later in the college pro or summer sessions, we would love it if you guys would rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Give us 5 stars if you like it, and give a little review, because we'd love to be in other people's ears so that they can hear all the exciting interviews that we do. I don't know. Do you have anything else that you want to add to that, Lindsay?
No, I can't believe it's been a year already, and especially for college season to start. We've had such great listeners and such great guests. So yeah, any recommendations or help you guys are willing to give, we love that.
Yeah, we want to know who you guys want to listen to, which episodes have been your favorite, what you like, what you don't like. Be nice. And we'll just keep, we're trying to make this for you guys and want you guys to listen to it. So whatever we can do to make this a better listening and viewing experience for those of you who watch on YouTube, we're all for it.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into it. So this week, we are actually going to just be doing a preview for the AVCA First Serve, because like you said, college volleyball is back, and I'm so excited.
I can't wait. I know, I'm so pumped.
It's been a long time since December 2025, both long and short. I feel like it kind of flew, but at the same time, I've just been waiting for the season to start. And it finally begins this Friday with 2 very exciting matchups. I mean, the entire weekend actually is super awesome and exciting. This is an amazing start to the season. Now, Lindsay and I were actually supposed to go out to Milwaukee for this tournament. That was, our plan. But then life got the best of us, especially Lindsay, which I don't know. Do you want to share the exciting news?
Okay, I will. So I am actually pregnant, and I'm expecting a little baby boy in mid-October. So it's sadly right in the middle of college volleyball season. I can't plan these things.
He's being born into the fandom.
Of course. So my travel is going to be limited, and Tiff will be on her own, or we'll have some guests come in and help out while I'm out. But I will still be around and very excited. So yes, that's why I'm not traveling this weekend, or I'm not going to be able to go to Paradise Invitational either, but Tiff will be there representing Side Out Society, and I will be doing everything I can from my apartment.
Yes, and as much as I really wanted to reenact the Open to Laverne and Shirley out in Milwaukee, alas, we will just have to stick with that little video I made way back in, I don't know, what was it, February, when they announced this tournament. We will just, imagine that and the excitement. But
no, well, my biggest regret is that when, we're talking with the Paradise Invitational folks, and we were like, what else could Side Out Society do? We could do a 2-on-2 tournament, take on the Side Out Society girls in a beach tournament. I'm like, damn it, I would love that. So next year when I am beach ready and our competitive spirits can really come out.
Yes, we will plan all of this for next year. And so this weekend, just with life, school starting, everything going on. So we actually are going to just replay the Sully Davis episode next week, because college season is starting. She's the best. She's going to be playing this weekend in First Serve, and we'll be out at Paradise Invitational. So perfect timing to replay the SMU Sully Davis episode. But anyway, so just with everything going on, it's just been crazy. But we're going to talk about this weekend right now, because like I said, exciting games begin on Friday. So the first matchup is going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. That is number 8 Texas A&M, the national champs, versus number 7 Louisville, which will be on ESPN2. And then the 9 p.m. Eastern time game is going to be number 6 Wisconsin versus number 3 Kentucky on ESPN. solid start to this college season. So let's start with the first match that's going to be at 6. Texas A&M, Louisville. Lindsay, give me your top level. What are you thinking about this one?
Well, I mean, this is a great matchup to start because this is a great revenge game because Texas A&M last year in the tournament knocked out Louisville in a 5-set thriller in the regional semifinals. So I know Louisville's coming back, wanting to take this game. And to me, seeing Texas A&M, the defending champions, they have a completely new team. They graduated most of their players. We still have Kendall Stowers.
Six starters if you include Ava Underwood, who was their libero last year, right? So all of them. Kendall Stowers, like you said, is the only starter returning. Continue. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, no, so it's a very different team. And so I think Texas A&M have a lot to prove this weekend. And look, we know it's still early. I just want to preface all of these games. This is early. This is the very, very first weekend of play. We can't read too much into who wins and who loses, but I'm really excited to see some of these teams, especially A&M, what this new team looks like, especially after a pretty solid Louisville team who's returning many of their incredible players. And Louisville has 3 preseason all ACC players on the watch list. We have Chloe Chacoin, Peyton Peterson, and Nylis Cabello. So incredible. They're still an incredible team. It's Dan Meskey's second season. It's going to be a good one. You know, I'm like, who has more pressure, the defending champs or, a still solid Louisville team?
Yeah, I will say that. So the Texas A&M team, I'm very excited about because it's really hard to watch any of these preseason exhibition games that they've been doing because not everyone airs them. But in the clips I've seen, Gabby Rodriguez has been the libero for Texas A&M, who is a brand new freshman. She was the number 2 libero in the country, the number 13th player overall in the country. And, we're seeing her in the white uniform to take over for Ava Underwood and our girl Tatum Thomas, who was on the podcast. If you guys don't know Gabby Rodriguez, she was also one of the Under Armour All-Americans who played in that tournament, in that game back around New Year's Day, I think, which a lot of these young players played in that are going to be at this tournament. Whether or not they play this weekend, I don't know. But Gabby Rodriguez, we are going to see on the court, and I'm so excited to watch her. And the other fun thing, you were mentioning that this is kind of like a little bit of a revenge game. Natalie Ring, who is the new grad transfer to Texas A&M, you may remember was great with Marquette when they played against Florida last year. They had that huge upset, and I feel like that really put Natalie Ring on a lot of the nation's radar because, Marquette games aren't as big as some of these other schools. But Natalie Ring is now on Texas A&M as a grad transfer. And Natalie Ring was part of Marquette's. Marquette lost to Louisville in the tournament, but Natalie Ring had 29 kills against Louisville in the tournament last year. So she's going to get a little bit more of a revenge as well on Texas A&M this year. Maybe she can actually, with their new team, beat the players who kicked Marquette out of the tournament last year. So
yeah, we loved her last year. She was so good.
Yeah, she's great. So great. I got her numbers: 497 kills, 197 digs, and 46 blocks. That's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. But yeah, this is going to be a really exciting game. And I don't know. I think just like what you said with all these returning players, Camden Tran also as libero for Louisville. Also, let's mention that Camden and Chloe Chacoin both agreed that they're going to stay on a 5th year, so we get to see them even more. But this team is so solid. I feel like the only one they really lost was Kara Cressy. So I'm going Louisville with this one.
I am too. I think it's especially an A&M team. We know they're defending champs, but there's so many new players in their very first game. So I'm thinking Louisville is going to take it too.
Yeah. Don't discount Jamie Morrison though. I feel like he's always got tricks up his sleeve. But
yeah, coach of the year. So we have no idea.
Yeah. That's why this tournament's so exciting.
I know.
All right, let's move to the second game, the 9 p.m. game. This one, probably one of the games of the weekend. Number 6 Wisconsin versus number 3 Kentucky. They are getting the national spotlight on the main ESPN channel. Oh, I don't know. This game is going to be like a nail biter, I think.
I'm I'm going with Kentucky on this one. I think similar to A&M, Wisconsin has so many new players. And I was chatting with Coach Kelly at Big Ten Media Days, and he was saying the same thing. He was saying, look, we have some solid starters coming back, but they have a really strong incoming class. They have the number one recruit. I believe they have the number one recruiting class in the country.
Yeah.
But it's still a new Wisconsin team. And so, he was saying our girls are tough. They're competitive. They're ready to play. He doesn't see this as a all freshman new team that needs to warm up. He's like, we're ready for prime time. But it's also like the A&M where I don't know what the lineup's going to be. I don't know these players as well. So I'm excited to see them play. And then in contrast, Kentucky, I think Kentucky has the strongest returning team and players. I don't think they've lost anyone. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh yeah, just Eva Hudson. But otherwise, their team, look, they went to the finals. They lost in the finals to A&M, but Brooklyn DeLay, love her. I love chatting with her on the pod, and she's just ready to go.
And congratulations, Brooklyn, on getting engaged.
Yeah, congrats, Brooklyn. But she's the first team All-American. She's going to be a senior now. We also have Cassie O'Brien. She was the National Freshman of the Year.
Yeah.
Molly Tuzzo returns as libero. So I'm excited to see, one of the matchups is the setter matchup. So Charlie Furbringer from Wisconsin, incredible. Obviously, she is on the AVCA watch list for Player of the Year this year. She was a semifinalist last year. Incredible setter. And then we have Cassie O'Brien, 2025 National Freshman of the Year on Kentucky's side. So two incredible setters going up against each other. I'm going with Kentucky, though, just given the continuity and how many strong players and well-rounded of a team they have.
So Kentucky is the only team that has 4 players on the AVCA Player of the Year watch list, and that's Brooklyn DeLay, Molly Tuzzo, go Libs, Cassie O'Brien, and their new transfer, Morgan Garty, who's she's 6'4", 6'5", and I think I might have put it in the graphic by accident that she's playing outside because she's previously played outside, but I think she's going to be playing opposite for Kentucky because I've seen Asia Thigpen playing outside. So I'm kind of curious, Asia Thigpen's only 5'10", but when she was in last year, she was so fun to watch. She just jumps and plays like she's 6'1", 6'2". So if it's Brooklyn and Asia outside, you got Morgan Garty on opposite. You got, Cassie O'Brien setting, who is a phenomenal setter, as we saw. Lizzie Carr at middle, Kennedy Washington at middle. I mean, it's solid crew. Yeah, I agree. I think Wisconsin's great. I think Charlie is going to be really great with Jayla August, who transferred from Florida. I think that, she's going to be a great addition and a great replacement for Carter Booth, who's not there anymore. But yeah, I agree. Just continuity. I think I'm going Cats. All right, well, let's move to Saturday's games. Oh, wait, actually, before we do move to Saturday's games, I also want to point out, so in the rankings, the preseason rankings that came out, it went Nebraska, almost unanimous first round pick, or first, ranking, almost. They had 57 votes for first. Then it went Texas and then Kentucky. But Kentucky had 4 picks to be the number 1 team, whereas Texas only had 1, which I find interesting. So I feel like.
And, also, Kentucky was picked over Texas to win the SEC this year.
Yeah.
So far. So that's I guess that's SEC rankings versus AVCA?
AVCA, yeah. I guess this is why they ask multiple people as a poll, because Texas A&M got a vote for first, even though they're a completely different team. I don't know who put that vote in. If you were that person, please stand up, because I want to know why.
Well, it is kind of crazy. I know that it's such a different team that, you're the defending champs, and what are they ranked?
They're 8th, I think. Yeah.
But it makes sense when you see the other list, the rest of the list.
Yeah. I mean, no one knows. That's the fun thing. It's like fantasy football. Nobody knows. You just make a guess. All right, let's move to Saturday now. So two more games, 4 p.m. Eastern. We got number 6 Wisconsin again versus number 7 Louisville. That game will be on Fox. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, it's number 2 Texas versus number 12 Arizona State on FS1. So we already talked about Wisconsin and Louisville, and I feel like this game is similar to this Kentucky-Wisconsin game where Louisville way more continuity. Wisconsin still has an insane amount of talent, but both teams are going to be coming off playing the day before and probably very good matches. So I think this game might be more of a who can, turn it around and keep pounding.
Yeah, and it's also like, battle of the setters also. And I think what tells us a lot about this opening weekend is, yes, both of these teams are having big games the day before. How do you pivot? Like, what's their first impression? Do they win, lose Friday? How do you come back from that? How does a new team come back from either if you dominate the night before, if you lose, like what is that? It seems like a lot of like mental fortitude. Like we'll see how both of these teams show up, but I think this one could go either way.
Yeah, I agree. But with this close one, I think I'm picking Louisville again. I think I know that they're number 7 over Wisconsin's number 6, but I just think, I don't know.
I'm going opposite. I'm going Wisconsin.
Ooh.
I think if Wisconsin, you have a game the day before, figure out your kinks, and then I think Coach Sheffield is incredible for a reason. And we'll see what happens. Also, you got to make it interesting. I can't choose all the same ones as you.
That's right. And we might be watching that game together too.
Yep.
So that makes it even more interesting. All right. And then we got Texas, who's number 2 in the country versus Arizona State, number 12. I feel like Texas, again, bringing back a lot of similar names like Kari Spears, Tori Stafford, Abby Vanderwall. We got a different lib this time, though. No more Emma Halter as she graduates. We got Ramsey Gary, who's going to be wearing the libero jersey. Although Texas did get Emma Cugino, who is the number 1 ranked libero in the country. She was on the U19 women's team. So if Ramsey, we know how great Ramsey is. We've seen her highlights, her running into chairs and the stands to save balls, and is just an absolute beast. But I think if they play like the Emma Halter, Ramsey Gary situation with like Ramsey Gary, Emma Cugino, like that back row is going to be tough to get a ball down on.
Yeah, and so fun to watch. I think Texas is going to take this just given what a strong team they have and the players that they have coming back. I don't know as much about ASU. I guess Texas swept ASU last year. Mm-hmm. So look, ASU gets a chance to take this back. You never know who can win. But the gap between 12 and 2 isn't as big as you would think. Like it sounds bigger than it is. So we'll see. It's an opening match. I'm still going with Texas, but I'm always rooting for an underdog.
For sure. I'm actually curious just in general with Texas. I know the internet, there's a lot of people out there, maybe you listener are one of them, but there's a lot of people who are not fans of Ella Swindle as Texas's setter. I don't think she's that bad. I think she's pretty good. She got them fairly far in the tournament, but people say that she's part of the reason why they didn't go farther. This is other people's takes, not mine. But Texas, again, with their recruiting class, got Genevieve Harris, who is one of the best setters in the country. And she was another UA All-American. So I'm curious who's going to start, because we did see Genevieve Harris with a few of the starters in preseason. So I'm curious if Ella starts and if/when Genevieve ends up taking over. Maybe next year, but I'm curious.
No, it's such a good point. And I want to see her play. I'm really curious. I know there is a lot of Ella hate out there. So I'm curious, let's try it out. Put in another setter and let's see. Yeah. But I also have to say Texas in an incredible showdown coming up. This isn't part of the First Serve, but we have to mention Texas is playing Nebraska next week in Las Vegas. And that is going to be, I think, a really exciting matchup. It is a replay of the 2023 NCAA championships. Texas defeated Nebraska in a pretty embarrassing sweep. And I'm sure Nebraska is going to want to come out. And I think that is going to be a really, really exciting matchup for both teams. Ooh, I can't wait to see it. That is like start on my calendar.
I know. One of the things that we forgot to mention about Arizona State, which I think is worthy of mentioning, is Una Vajagic, former Wisconsin outside hitter, transferred to ASU this year. And she was a huge part of that Wisconsin run in the tournament. So I'm excited to see what that means for ASU. Plus, they also have Naomi Glover, who is, again, on the AVCA Player of the Year watch list. And as we know, ASU always has tricks up their sleeve, literally, because JJ Van Niel, their head coach, is a literal magician. So
I always forget that. It's amazing.
So who knows what they're going to pull.
Well done, Tiff. Well done. Nice.
Thank you. So, I do think, though, Texas will pull this one out in the end. Because, like I said, I think the scary thing about Texas this year is that back row. Watch it. And then when Torrey Stafford's back there, too, when not just as an amazing defensive player, but as a back row hitter, watch out. Watch out.
I know. I mean, look, Texas was always known as for being big hitters and less focus on the back row. And I think last year, just having Emma Halter and Ramsey Gary together, this year, it's like a very well-rounded team. I want an underdog to win. They're so good. But I'm like, I want ASU to take it or something. But Texas last year had so many close games and then they lost a few and they came back. So you really can't count out this Texas team.
Yep, that's definitely true. All right, let's move to Sunday. We got afternoon games on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Number 8, Texas A&M. They get a day off before they come back to face number 11, SMU. That game will be on ESPN2. And then the 4 p.m. game, 4 p.m. Eastern, which I will be at my husband's cousin's 50th birthday, so they better have the game on at the bar. If not, I will make them put it on because this is the other game of the weekend. Number 4, Pitt versus number 3, Kentucky, and that's going to be on ESPN. So this one, let's start with the first game, the game at 1 p.m. Eastern. That one, I'm going, I think, with the underdog, quote underdog, because SMU, how do you call the number 11 team and SMU an underdog? But I think SMU has this over Texas A&M just because, we had Sam Erger on the podcast and both of us were ready to run through a wall for her and play for her.
I was like, please put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Yeah, we're ready. Not saying that I wouldn't do that probably for Jamie Morrison. I bet he would probably say things and I would be like, yes, I'm on your team. Let's go. But because we did have the opportunity to speak to Sam, she's got the edge in that regard. But I do think that just what she does with that team and the addition of Sully Davis is just kind of going to make this, an extra hard team to beat. And her favor Onyanwu, Jaden Livings, Gabby Placide, Krista Wilburn. They're all really good players. A bunch of them are now back, but Sully obviously is new. Oh, and then we can't forget Natalia Newsom, who jumps 10 feet, Actually, no, she's 11 feet now, 11-1, something insane like that. Yeah. So I just feel like Sam Erger has just put together such a great team. And even though some of them are new, some of them have only been there for 2 years, I just feel like they recruit based on chemistry, not just as talent. And so I feel like they probably bonded very fast. I'm sure Texas A&M is going to be great too. I love Kendall Stowers. But just, I don't know. I think SMU, in my mind, has a little bit more of an edge.
Yeah, I think in years past, the question around SMU is, can they be nationally relevant? Can they make the tournament? How far can they go in the tournament? I think they've more than proven themselves now. And I think now the question is, how far can they go? And, how can they stay in this tier every single year, especially with some new blood? But I have such confidence in Sam because just the way she was talking about how she recruits her players, like she was very clear with us. She goes, I could see a really good player, but if she doesn't have that competitive drive and that hunger to win, I don't want her on my team. And so it's very clear that even if they're new, the players on her team are going to have that hunger. And I'm really excited to see how she's able to pull together a somewhat new group, recruits, transfers, and everything. Everyone says Sam wins the transfer portal. I mean, I see why. She gives you a call. She talks to them like she talks to us. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to play for you. So, yeah, this will be a great game.
Mm-hmm. Are you choosing SMU over
I'm going
Sam?
SMU, yeah.
All right. We agree again. We right now only have one difference, and that's probably the game we're going to be watching. Although maybe for this one, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The second game on Sunday is very exciting with Pitt versus Kentucky. I mean, the biggest storyline for Pitt is Izzy Stark coming in from Penn State after taking a year off. I'm sure she's still just as good, but I am curious. A year off of not playing competitive ball like that, it's a little different. But when you're setting Olivia Babcock, I mean,
like just get it up there. Olivia will get it. No, but I am so excited to see this Pitt team play. I think just having Izzy Stark, I mean, that was such a big story last year of where is she going to go? I saw her on the Pitt campus and she announced.
I actually thought she was going to go to SMU.
That would have been a good one too. So like, I'm so curious to see like how she gels with this team. And like Pitt has made it to the Final Four 4 years in a row. Oh, it Tips kitties in the background. Which is that? Ziggy.
Yeah, there he goes. And he's off.
Hi, bye, Ziggy.
Always have to have a cat.
Yeah. So no, I'm really excited to see how Izzy's playing and what that's like. And look, I'm dying to know the storyline behind it and, how does she gel with Olivia? So, but this is I think one of the biggest games to watch this weekend. So Olivia Babcock has won Player of the Year for the last 2 years in a row. These two teams are two Final Four teams from last year. There's no question about the talent on both of these teams. So this one could go either way. I'm going with Pitt. Yeah. I love Kentucky, but just having Liv and a great setter, I'm curious to see how they go. I'm going with Pitt.
I know. I'm thinking I'm looking at their roster and like Blair Bayless is so good. I think Marina Pizzell is going to really step up this year from last year. She had like so much talent last year and was showing it. And I feel like she could be like, Adriana on Nebraska with that, just like that international experience. She's tall. She's good. She's strong. Izzy Masson is back playing, Lib. And yeah, it's just.
For me, it's the same story. It's like we all know how good Babcock is. To me, it's a question of what other players can step up and help even out the load for her. So it's not just the one woman show. You can't win. I mean, sure, they've come very far with having her on the team, but I would love to see other players step up, and they're gonna have to win that way. But I think with such a great setter, assuming Izzy is still on top of her game, that she's able to put the balls in great positions and make it easier for her hitters. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I know. I mean, I'm a Penn State fan, but I when it comes to the women's volleyball team, like I keep rooting for them. Just they're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And I feel like one of these years they're finally going to do it. But I want to see it with Olivia on the team, which I have a sneaky suspicion that this is probably it. I don't think she's going to stick with that 5-year eligibility rule and come back next year just because I think she wants to play in LA 28. So I don't know. But she has to realistically see if that's possible, given that, Jordan Thompson and Annie Drew Schumacher are the opposites for Team USA at the moment.
Steep competition.
Yeah. So we'll see where Dan Fisher goes with this team. But I am, it's hard to root against Olivia Babcock. But like you said, it's not just a one-woman team. Volleyball is a team sport, and that's why I'm going with Kentucky.
Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I think by Sunday night, we're going to know if Kentucky is a team to be talked about for the national championship or as a national champion. I think obviously they've already gotten there, but I think to see how they continue on this season with such similar players, I'm really excited.
Yeah. And then Monday, they added 2 additional games kind of late in the off season. And we have an additional night of volleyball. So at 6 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be number 4 Pittsburgh versus Xavier. And then 8 p.m. Eastern, it's number 2 Texas versus Marquette. And that one will be on FS2. The other game, they didn't give any sort of broadcast information. So I'm not sure where you'll be able to watch that one. But I mean, I will say it's kind of mean that they're giving these 2 unranked teams 2 of the top 4 teams to play. Good. I mean, you want that competition. I would think you're hungry for that, and you would like talk about an upset if that's an upset. But I will say for like their first games of the season, like that's a pretty big one.
Throw them into the deep end, But that's part of what coaches want. Like you want really tough competition early on and get the kinks out then and see. So, I'm not expecting an upset, but you really never know. Like you can't completely write off Xavier. They were 14-2 in the Big East. They made their first NCAA tournament appearance last year since 2007. So not too shabby. They have an all Big East setter returning, Macy Hatkovich. So, I wouldn't count them out.
Yeah, I mean, never know, but I'm giving Pitt the edge.
No, I am too. I'm trying to be positive, but I think Pitt and Texas are going to take these.
Yeah, I agree. I think again, Marquette was great last year, but they also had Natalie Ring, who I felt like really helped create that team dominance. And without her, we'll see. I think you never know. It's a game of momentum. Who's going to have the momentum? We will see. We'll see what happens. But again, Texas, I think, has the best back row out of these teams. So, it's going to be tough for them to get the ball down.
Yeah. I think I would have loved to see a Texas A&M Kentucky rematch from last year. I know it's probably on purpose. They're not doing it. Who knows? If that were the case, I would take Kentucky. But there's so many transfers. Like having Wisconsin, having Natalie Ring play against Marquette would be awesome. Una Vajagic, to have her play against Wisconsin would have been really interesting. Because I know that transfer portal was kind of contentious. Yeah. And so I'm sure we'll get some more matchups as we go, but this is going to be a great weekend.
Yes, great weekend. And then, I mean, the non-conference fun is going to continue. We got then on the 27th, Spikes Under the Lights, which doesn't count towards the regular season, but that's going to be at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium with Penn State, Nebraska, Florida, and SMU. They'll be, quote, competing for $1 million. They each already get $200,000, and the winner of this little tournament will get an additional $200,000. I'm actually doing a watch party for that game for that night at a local bar. I got a solid 15 people who want to come watch women's volleyball that night, which I'm pumped. Getting the local crew excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I gotta come.
Yeah, that one I'm like, I'm pumped. I think the format's going to be different. They haven't actually said what it's going to be, but I bet that's best of 3. And I'm curious if the final match at 10 p.m. Eastern is going to be like winner takes all, or if they're going to play 3, because they're doing a concert then a half hour after it starts. So that's why I don't think
each match is only given an hour. So I'm like, how are they going to do this?
They've got to keep the ball rolling. Best of 3 or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, 4 amazing teams are going to play that night. And then next weekend, the following weekend, it's the opening Spike Classic, which was Kansas, Stanford, Wisconsin, and Pitt. So, like, again, really good. The following week then is the whole SEC Big Ten Challenge. So exciting matchups there, culminating at Wrigley, which that's one trip that you are going to travel for. So we're going to see Nebraska, Mizzou, and Penn State, Kentucky. Talk about crazy game. And then Paradise Invitational, which I'm sad that you won't be there. But again, SMU, Purdue, Houston, and Kentucky. Like, I don't know. Such a this first month of women's college volleyball is absolutely insane. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to see the matchups. I also I love making predictions, but it's so hard to know how everything's going to go. But I think at the end of that run, of all of those games you just mentioned, I think then we can come back and really kind of see where these teams are at early on. And I think that's what I'm most excited for, to see how do these teams lose and come back? How do you pivot? What rotations are going to be? What players are going to get starting positions? And then I think we're going to have so much more information going into the regular season this year.
Yeah, and then I didn't actually even mention the tournament the showcase that's going to be in Vegas with UNLV and Nebraska and Tech. There's so many things. But anyway, I do think that after this insane non-conference schedule, when we do see how these teams are going to be, what's the best rotation, stuff like that, I think, the conference schedule, because it's going to be a lot of, especially for the top teams, it's going to be more about sustainability and, making sure that they can last the season and be ready for when the tournament starts. I think we're going to see a bunch of different rotations, players sitting, players resting, and different lineups and different plays and all that. It's almost some of those games, not all, because obviously Penn State, Nebraska, you're not starting your starting lineup. But a bunch of those games, I do think that we're going to get a little taste of the future with all these new exciting talent that has been recruited. And then it's going to lead to the postseason, which is going to be another exciting match. I hope we get some cool teams again, like Cal Poly, that make a surprise underdog run.
I know. I love the good underdog teams.
I know. All right. Well, is there anything else we want to add before we close this week's episode and get ready for the season?
I think that's it. I think follow us on social, because we're going to be doing a lot more social posts over the coming weeks, especially just, live reactions to games, what to watch for. So make sure you're following us on TikTok and Instagram. And we look forward to watching this with you.
Yeah, we're super excited. And again, don't forget to rate the podcast, rate a review if you like what we're doing. And feel free to contact us with any guests you'd like to hear in future episodes, because we always want to try to listen to you guys and get who you want to hear and get you to learn what you want to learn. So awesome. Well, thanks all. We will have the Sully Davis episode up again next week, and then we will see you guys in September.
Sounds good. See ya.
Thanks. Bye.